How is fault determined in an accident? All right, this is the big question, and thank you so much for being curious about it. My name is Ayanda Malele, and thank you so much for tuning in once again as we talk about my favorite subject, insurance. And yes, the question is, how is fault determined? You know, me and you can be together, and then we can both bump into each other. But now, who's at fault? And understanding that we all, guys, stress at these times, it's guraf, gubi, gushubile, ziningi, and one type situation. So it does so happen that absent-mindedness, or you were just, you just lost yourself for a bit, you crossed the red robot or so forth. So mistakes do happen, and that's what insurance is there for. In terms of determining fault now between two people, that the other one was thinking about their life problems, maybe the other one wasn't thinking about their life problems, they were actually just driving properly, but then they bumped. How is fault determined? So the main thing here is to look at who caused the accident. And the who caused the accident is generally the person that's at fault. And we can speak to claims specialists about this. And I'd like to actually get a claims specialist or more of a legal specialist, because it's a more legal thing. Because sometimes they'll find that even though you were maybe 70% at fault, the other party was 30% at fault, because if they, were vigilant or blah, 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 then there is that other portion of it. But mainly fault is ascertained based on who was the most reckless in the whole incident. And we look at that. I had a very similar situation, and please don't judge me. My insurer, if you're watching, please just forgive me for this. I live in an intersection where when I come out of the estate, it's a T-junction. So when you're driving towards the T-junction, there's people that are coming from this side who want to turn right towards the estate. There's some people who want to turn left into the estate. Now, there's always a nice thing that we all do for each other, where if somebody is stopped to turn right while the other person is turning left, you quickly can dash and, turn right if you're turning right. But that day I turned right, and as I turned right, a motorcyclist came past, overtaking on a barrier line, and we almost had an accident. But thank God I wasn't driving like a Speedy Gonzales, and he also wasn't driving like a Speedy Gonzales, but that could have been a very bad accident, especially with a motorcyclist. And there I also sat and thought to myself, but yes, I was wrong, because I sort of didn't have right of way, but based on the, agreement we all have, the people that live in their state, it's sort of an agreed upon thing that we can all do. But now this person, yes, had I bumped them or they bumped me, vice versa, whichever, they were probably not also right, because there's a straight barrier line. So you can't overtake on a barrier line. And motorcyclists like thinking that they are birds that can just fly through the road. Nonetheless, I'm giving you this example as a way to just show that it would have been a very interesting case for an insurer to say who was most liable for the incident, because the one is crossing a barrier line, the one is going, but there was a stop. So on my side, both cars had stopped to turn, left and right into the estate. But who was more wrong? But those are the intricacies where now the legal department gets involved, and then they say, okay, at Ayanda, because you were you somehow maybe had right of way, then, you can, you are less guilty, where maybe this person who had no right of way, a straight barrier line, they had no reason to. Or it could be 50-50. But that's the technicalities of it all. There are, though, instances, as I just alluded to with the motorcyclist, there are instances where you were not following the rules of the road at all. So you crossed a red robot. You were driving drunk. You overtook a car on a barrier line. You made a U-turn where there's a clear no U-turn sign. Those kind of things now put the burden more on you, because, yes, you were at fault. You were not following the rules of the road. And if the other party was just merrily going about their way, following the rules of the road, being cautious, and out of nowhere, somebody comes and hits them because they're drunk, their fault is on you. And then, yes, with drunken driving, insurance companies do not cover a drunken driver. So that's a separate chat altogether. But yes, fault is a very intricate thing, but you always follow the rules of the road. ensure that, you're not drinking and driving, etc. And yes, the mistakes do happen. And when they do, that's where your insurer comes in as well. And that's also why you have liability cover, which will cover the second person that you may have bumped into while you were thinking about all your life problems, which is happening to most of us these days. So I hope this video helped you. If there's clarity that was given, scream yay in the comment section or click like. If there's more questions you have, I'd love to get a legal specialist to just come on board as well to help us discuss this issue of fault, because it's so interesting, but there is a very big gray area, but there's just blatant things we cannot overlook. Follow the rules of the road. If you're driving at 160 kilometers an hour, you were wrong. That's it. Yes, thank you so much for watching this video, and I hope that you do come in and watch some more. I'll definitely see you on the next one. Have a good day. Bye.